Heavysettactical. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be doing way more content. I know people say that a lot, and sometimes it doesn't happen. This is the truth. I love the beginning of fall through fall and winter. We're going to be doing camping in the snow and survival trips, taking another survival course. We're going to be doing hiking every weekend from here on out. It's going to be some great content. Don't be afraid to like and subscribe. I just put out a rant about some of my hiking gear today. I got my 55-liter Terra North Face pack hanging in the tree, just to keep some bugs and critters off of it. And I am down here today testing 3 knives that were graciously sent to me by Tuff Gear. And Tuff Gear is a brand that I cannot speak highly enough of. Tuff Gear is a brand that I trust with my life, hands down. Premium materials. It's not a CPM steel. It's not Magna Cut. It's not crew wear. But these steels, these K steels, K390 or K329, SK85, the K329 on all 3 of these blades is battle true, tried and tested. Not only by me. There are people that I trust that have beaten these things to a pulp for years, and I trust Tuff Gear's survival knives and belt knives and EDC knives with my life. So today, I hope you guys can see me okay. My tripod's a little high up. Today, we are testing out these 3 knives graciously sent to me by Vic Lynn. This is the Mountain Lion Gen 2 of the Mountain Lion by Aurora Borealis. Mountain Lion K329 stainless steel. Excellent Kydex sheath. Excellent Kydex sheath with a green backer this time. We got the JX Omega, designed by none other than Chris from Prepared Minds 101 YouTube channel. So he's a fellow YouTuber. And a week before Vic Lynn sent me this care package, I was just saying to my buddy Gabe at the Last Huntsman channel how I know the design's a little odd, but I really want to try one of these out. Guys, this thing is thick enough to be hard use. Sorry, I didn't realize that gator grip was on the front. Man, my mind's like squirrel. These knives are thin enough to be hard use and thick enough behind the edge with that mirror polished edge to hold a crazy nice edge, and especially a working edge. But it has this crazy handle, and it's very, very nimble. Very nimble, so you can strike like this, you can strike like that, you can use it, you can choke up on it, then you can choke right up on the blade and do some carving. We're going to do a little bit of everything today with these 3 knives. Aurora Borealis designed Gen 2 Mountain Lion, the JX Omega from Chris from Prepared Minds 101, and the one knife that I always wanted to check out, but I never got a chance to get one, the Zeke Minacho designed Nomad Bushcrafter. This one is in K329 as well. Let me just triple check that. K329 stainless. It's a nice hard use tool steel stainless steel. Great Kydex, no rattle, really nice backer. You can tighten these down to just carry it like this, or if you loosen them, you can slide it and carry it scout carry with this clip. But I was carrying it yesterday for quite some time like this, and it was just fine. I don't see the need to buy a different clip or sheath. Very usable. So guys, let's get into it. We got the woods to ourselves today, and we are going to, man, I'm such a weirdo. And man, we are going to do some testing, a little bit of batoning, some chopping. We're going to chop down some of these dead saplings that died during the summer, and do some. Okay guys, John from Heavysettactical. Got this beautiful Mountain Lion, Aurora Borealis designed Mountain Lion up first. We are going to chop this 2.5 inch sapling Now guys, this is oak. It's very hard, very, very hard. Remember to watch where it could deflect and hit you in the thighs. Be very careful. I have opened my shin up and almost did it a second time. Very, very badly doing that. Gotta love it. Let's try out that JX Omega. So guys, we're going to be going back and forth. Aurora Borealis Mountain Lion, Prepared Minds 101 JX Omega, both built by Work Tough Gear. We're going to be going back and forth. Mountain Lion, JX Omega, Mountain Lion, JX Omega. Same size sapling, very hard oak. This is not a versus video. This is just how we're going to do it. The testing on both these. Holy crap. Guys. Guys, they chop very differently and have different strengths and weaknesses. These are two of the best choppers I ever used. Now this, I'm not saying it's a better knife. You guys know I have a lot of different knives for different uses. And this is one of my favorite designs ever designed. The JX Omega has that elongated handle, that extra 1.5 inches, 2 inches on the handle for you to get that extra swing. Also, it's about 5 to 10 thou thinner overall profile, so it's a little lighter. Blade's almost the same general size, so you can swing very fast with this thing and get more leverage. So it took about half the swings. So if you're looking for just a debranching chopper, this is your go-to. Chopping this elongated, about 1.5 inches to 3/4 of an inch in diameter with the Mountain Lion. We're going to be debranching it, then we'll go back to the JX Omega. You guys want to see how great these edges are and how great the handle lockup is? I purposely am not using a lanyard. They do come with paracord. Both these knives come with a patch of paracord, so you can make a lanyard. I didn't do that today. So let's start with the little one. One little wrist flick. One little wrist flick, gone. Ready? One little wrist flick, gone. Guys, these knives from Work Tough Gear, you got to understand something. Everybody, and I was one of these guys before I've done, did a lot of testing, a lot of using different knives. There is a difference between these polished convex edges and a secondary V edge that's just a regular secondary V edge. Goddamn spiders all over the place. So, these, oh, by the way, if you are one of those people from New York that watches these funny rednecks in the woods cutting shit with knives, if you don't like bugs, you're gonna hate hiking. Oh, that was the other video I was filming. Never mind. I was talking about people in New York watching us crazy rednecks out here. Like, what the hell are they doing? So, the Mountain Lion. These polished convex edges, they have the bite. And what's great about these large knives, okay, is when you're shelter building, making a bow and arrow, guys, and this is all hypothetical things I'm spewing, uses I'm spewing out here, yes. But if I was going to be living off-grid for 10 years, you're damn right I'm going to try making a bow. I'm going to try making some sandals. There's a girl that does a lot of great primitive task stuff on her channel. I can't think of her name. DBK was making fun of her for a while. Lily, Survival Lily, Survive Lily, that channel. She does make a bow. She makes a crossbow, actually, too. But, guys, make a long story short, what's great about the big Work Tuff gear knives that everybody thinks are goofy or they can't carry them because they're not a 2-inch goofy EDC knife. Guys, in a survival situation for shelter making, fire making, bow making, whatever you're doing, these knives are so big and thick, you can get 2 hands on them like this. And you can use them as a planer. That's how nice these things are. You can use it and draw towards you and have a lot of control and use it like a planer to make flat surfaces on branches, whatever you're doing. These things are fantastic for carving, for carving tasks, even though they're big knives. They do it all. They do it all. One swing. I'm swinging a little lighter because I don't want to come back and hit myself with it. Guys, these things are absolute demons. These Work Tuff gear knives with these big polished edges, polished convex edges. Now, for the smart ASS in the comments that's going to say, that's a saber grind, not a convex grind. It's a saber grind on the bevel. On the bevel. The very edge is convexed, smooth and rounded, as opposed to a V-edge. So it bites into material and slides through this wood so nicely. So nicely. You have a lot of control in a reverse grip with this. A lot of control. But what's nice about these heavy blades is if you're just debarking something, you can just let the weight of the blade do it. Find your angle, wiggle it back and forth, and let it do all the work. Part of me wanted to throw that up, but that's stupid. Could potentially hurt me. So now, guys, we will move on. We will move on to the JX Omega and see how that works. 3 swings, unsupported. The Mountain Lion from Aurora Borealis at Work Tuff Gear Knives. I don't know why I did that. Guys, these knives can be used maturely and immaturely. They will not break. You can do inappropriate things with them as not sexually weirdos, as far as tip stuff, where you wouldn't do it with a Benchmade Adamas because it would crack the tip right off. But with these things, you can do things that you're not supposed to normally do with knives. One of these times with this big thumper, oh man, I want to throw it. So now let's check out the JX Omega. Now I got the JX Omega. Same K329, slightly thinner, longer handle to cock back so you have a little more speed and agility in your swings. Same exact nice polished convex edge. So let's debranch. This is the same exact oak tree. Or no, what is that? That's different. I need to work on my tree stuff. I do have a field guide book of, guys, in my last video I ran it about Survive stuff. Knowing what plants are poisonous and non-poisonous, what stuff and mushrooms you can and can't eat, what the different tree types are, all that stuff's very important. I can't think of what this is called. It's not an ash. I know what it is, but I can't think of it. Can't think of the name. But it's the, oh my God, dude. Oh my God, that's so good, so good. Whoa. Oh, it's because it's giving a little bit there. Oh man, that's so good. Just shears it right off. Shing. So, make a long story short, these knives are invaluable. These knives are more than $1 percentage. These knives I will never get rid of in my collection. It's kind of like the choil on the mountain lion. This doesn't have a choil, but it has a really close finger guard, so you can choke up with these nice rounded finger spots here, so you can choke up really close on that blade and do your carving with it. So I've just been showing, oh, let me finish my point. Squirrel. Guys, knives like this, knives like the mountain lion, they are invaluable, these Work Tuff Gear knives, because they're not really going to rust too bad. Guys, stainless is stainless, not stain proof. Stainless steels do rust a little bit, do patina a little bit at some point, depending on how rough you are on your knife, where you live, if you live in Florida or Tennessee, depending on where you live, what conditions you live. So, make a long story short, these knives are invaluable and will always be in my collection for a rainy day, for you never know what. I mean, I use them, don't get me wrong. All my knives are users. But these big knives from Work Tuff Gear in these K steels, K329, that Vic Lynn sent me, these two in the Nomad Bushcrafter, these are invaluable. They stay in my collection, and I hold on to them because they are always going to do the job I need them to do. They are always going to work. They are always going to be there. Guys, relying on something that has a 1,000-year shelf life is not a reality in our world. All this processed crap, you know, back in the day they made things and jarred things and canned things that you could have shelf lives with. These days, not as much. There's certain things in them that go bad. You can still buy things and freeze dry them. Liquid eggs, non-chunky soups. You can get a freeze dryer or not a freeze dryer, you know what I mean, an air dryer little thing, dehydrator, and dehydrate those things and vacuum seal them or jar them in a sealed jar, bell jar, and then rehydrate them as you see fit. They have like a 20-year something, 30-year shelf life on freeze-dried stuff, dehydrated stuff. So I don't know how I got on talking about food. Oh, I was talking about shelf life. Guys, this is a knife. The Mountain Lion is a knife where they could sit in a drawer in my room for 1,000 years. As long as they're not laying in water, salt water, it could sit in my dresser for 1,000 years, just like this, as long as it's dry, and somebody could pick it up in 1,000 years and it would do the job you need it to do. These things are invaluable, as in very valuable. Not unvaluable, invaluable. Because to have in your collection. Because you never know when you're going to have this is for me, or actually I take the Mountain Lion. This is for me, this is for my dad, that smaller one's for my mom. We're surviving, we're moving around, we're on foot, we're in the woods, we're in the rain. It's an apocalyptic scenario. Humor me. These knives are going to be there. They're going to be there to protect us, to make our fires, to make our shelters. They're going to be there to do what we need them to do. So having larger knives like this with good materials, well built, great edges. Guys, I swear to God on my life, you could not sharpen this thing for like a year of using it every day. It's going to have that convex edge is going to dull but it's still going to have a working edge. It'll be more of an, like an axe, like a splitting wedge than it will be a knife, but it's still going to protect you and defend you, and it's still going to do what you need it to do for the most part. Right now it has these shiny, nice polished brand new edges on it from the factory that are beautiful. And the best part about K329 is it holds a crazy edge, but it's not too hard to strop and get a great result from just stropping. So leather belts, which I like a polymer gun belt and a battle belt over that. They will not decompose from water like leather will from long-term using it. You know, if you're backpacking across the state to get to the coast where you can fish in an apocalypse scenario, or a nuke goes off in New York and you're in your house and you're not that affected, but after all the dust settles and everybody's killed each other and all neighbors have eaten each other and eaten their pets and everything's going crazy, sorry, hypothetical, but these things are not that far off as far as being possible. When you have one of those scenarios, you know, a leather belt might last you a year, and then it's probably going to fall apart. So I like my gun belt. It's a polymer material, and that's another thing for your hiking stuff that I was talking about in my previous video and survival stuff. It's worth spending more money to get good polymer belts. Your shoes, make sure they're, you know, you have nice Gore-Tex stuff, or you know, waterproof stuff. Waterproof is very important. And to top that, I have a couple cans that you paint on, not spray cans. A couple cans that you can dip or spray on some Gore-Tex type waterproofing material in case I have to re-waterproof my stuff. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop going on my rant and get back to the knives. I love them. Chris from Prepared Minds 101, if you're watching this, man, I really like the JX Omega. I do. The Mountain Lion's more my style and a little more carryable because it doesn't have this huge handle sticking off of it. But this thing is good, brother. This thing is good. Let's check out the Nomad. So guys, I'm trying to get in this shot here. But if all you have is this Nomad, this is the Zeke Minacho designed, work tough gear made. Excuse me, had a bug in my mouth. This is the Scandi version of the Nomad Bushcrafter in K329. White G10 or bone colored G10 with black and orange layered G10. Beautiful, beautiful setup, beautiful colors. So in a situation like this, a good trick is putting a little bit of pressure. Now this is a lot bigger of a sapling than I thought. Putting a little bit of pressure and a bend on there, making sure your hand's out of the way, and rock that back and forth. And see how that just split right open? Look at that. That's a pretty big sapling. And that's all it took. 2 rocks and then a little. Now guys, you can cock back on this thing. I wish I had taken the time to put a little lanyard on it. You can cock back on this thing and chop a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. Dude, this thing, oh, this thing is a freaking planer. Reverse grip is super comfortable, holding it just like that. There's a little scallop, I would call that a scallop on the back for your thumb. That little divot groove there. So guys, there are some people that really don't like Scandis. I don't have a lot of Scandis or carry a lot of Scandis. Rob Evans Bushcraft. Rob Evans Outdoors, I forget, Rob Evans, RJ Evans. He makes a really great Scandi Morris Kahansky tribute knife called a MK1. So, let's see if we can flat top this a little bit. Look at that, dude. It just goes right through it. Now let's scallop this edge a little bit, this top edge here a little bit, top flat a little bit. Let's flatten it. Now let's scallop the outside a little bit. I like that word, scallop. Give it a little more flat top for hammering. And you got a crude tent peg. Or a support spike. Put that in the ground. And now we're going to do a, we are going to carve a, whatchamacallit, a hook for your paracord. Go watch my last video. It's a rant on the importance of having cordage in your packs, guys. Cordage saves lives. Cordage makes shelters and secures shelters. Cordage helps cook food and hang food in the air so animals and critters will stay away from it. Cordage is very important. So guys, I started this by running an X this way, then running an X that way, so you have a nice triangular tip sticking down, and then you carve these points out here. Nice little push cut. Dig your knife edge in like that, and then follow it up with a nice little push cut. And just push that out with your thumb. The front belly here is really nice to use. Roll the edge, nice little push cut. Nice little push cut. I don't do a lot of carving in my videos anymore, which is a shame, man. I really love taking some time and just notching out some stuff, carving some stuff, whittling, if you will. Now, this is a very, very crude example of a hook. I like to kind of get a bellow going in there. Never cut towards yourself like I just did. I just knew it was going to hang up there, so I was safe. And, guys, let's be honest. All of us knife guys will tell you, if you're not cutting yourself maybe once a month, twice a year, pretty good, you're probably not handling knives as much as most of us do. I know Gabe and I, from the Last Huntsman channel, we like to laugh sometimes and reminisce about bad ones that we've got when we're doing a live stream. Haven't done one for a while, so I'm gonna get on that. Gabe's a good friend. Gabe's a good friend. He served in the armed forces and helped protect our freedoms. So guys, this is a tent peg. Normally people would just notch a flat, but I just wanted to do an X pattern notch. You hammer it into the ground, tie your rope up into that channel to the top of your tent. There's a tent peg. Or, if I had a long piece of a stick hanging down from a tripod you make with cordage at the top, that little notch there will hang your pot from it, so you can pick your pot up out of the fire and not get burnt. So guys, like I said, in my last video, the survival stuff, the medication, Jesus Lord, the medical supplies are important. You're not if you cut yourself, when you cut yourself. You're going to accidentally cut yourself when you're using knives a lot, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of survival classes or camping a lot or hiking a lot or shooting reviews a lot or anything, God forbid, happens and we're in an apocalyptic scenario. you're gonna be using a knife quite a bit. So there's a really cool tent peg. Very well executed in my opinion. So we're gonna put this back in the woods. We're gonna hang it from a little branch here. Let somebody find it in 1,000 years. Oops. I'm just kidding. It's not gonna be here in 1,000 years. I'm just talking shit. Sorry. We're gonna hang it and let it be. Let's do some feather sticks. So what's up, guys? John from Heavysettactical. This is the, oops, didn't have it clicked in. This is the Nomad Bushcrafter. Fantastic little everyday carry bushcraft knife. Luckily, somebody put this cool little bench here, so we are going to shoot a little carving demonstration here. Well, I just did a carving demonstration. We're going to do some semi-light batoning. Just to show you that it's possible. Guys, this stuff is dry. It's from a previous video a long time ago. Got some knots in it. We're going to do some against the grain, cross grain batoning to show you how hard it is to damage this Scandi. Holy crap. I broke my baton. Do some notches. I hate batoning on this table. It's just making a loud noise and it's quite annoying. Then you use that belly to carve out your divot. You can come in this way from the half and then that way from the halfway point. A lot of guys will come in from one side and try to break that out. That's a good way to damage your edge if this is your only means of a carving knife in a survival situation or a, you know, camping trip if you're going to be out in the woods for a while. So I like to try to take it easy on Scandis as much as I can. And the funniest part about that is I learned my lesson with my, so perfect. I learned my lesson with the first Scandi I ever got from, look at that. This is a dried leaf. It's not paper, but you catch my drift. I learned my lesson from the first Aurora Borealis design Forester that I got. It was a Scandi. And that son of a gun would not damage, that edge would not damage no matter what I did to it. So these K steels, this K329, these edges are nasty, guys. And they're strong. And there is a very, 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 very tiny polished micro bevel on the end. So they make a Scandi grind. It's a 0 grind, dead sharp. Then they'll come at an increased angle, and let's say this is your spinning media here. They'll come at an angle and just kiss it on a polishing wheel and put a nice little polished secondary convex edge on there just for a little support. Now guys, feather sticking with a Scandi is different than a regular saber grind. It digs in a lot harder. Some guys are fantastic at it. A lot of guys I know will hold the knife like that, or like, you know, like this, and draw the wood. Oh, that's kind of nice. That is kind of nice. It just glides through material. So that's a really rough feather stick. Some guys are great at Scandis. I'm not. time. Go left, turn right, turn a little to the left, a little to the right. You're catching that high edge to the left, high edge to the right, high edge to the left, high edge to the right. That's essentially what a lot of guys do that I've seen. They go left, right. So you make a divot like that, then come back to the left, then to the right, to the left. This is a very wavy piece, so it's not going particularly pretty. Here's a little bit straighter of a piece. Just keep increasing that edge till you find it and it starts to bite in. This is some really hard dried oak, or dried maple, sorry. So it's not going to be great for feather sticks. So guys, I may have from Heavysettactical. Mountain lion up first. We're going to do a little bit of batoning here. And I am batoning on this old bench that was thrown out down into the woods. They drug it down here. Somebody painted it this year, but it's just, you know, an old rotten bench. So don't worry about me sticking a knife into it. It's not illegal. It was dumped illegally. So technically it shouldn't even be on this trailhead. So I took my Bahco saw, I cut up about 10 pieces this length. But first we're going to do the big boy. This is about 2.25 inches thick. We're going to baton through it. Guys, batoning with Work Tuff gear knives is just natural and smooth. Always natural and smooth. These things are made for batoning. If any knife is made for batoning, it's a Work Tuff gear. You can see that this piece of wood had a natural bend in it. So it's a little corkscrewy for sure. A little screwy there, boy. A little screwy there, boy. I should be doing this a little more safely, but I'm not. Guys, these knives do not break, do not bow to any competitor. They do not shrink to any challenge. These are the epitome of hard use knives. They're fantastic for splitting wood, splitting kindling, even feather sticking and fire making. This is the Work Tuff gear mountain lion. Sorry, there is a mountain man. This is the mountain lion. Aurora Borealis, one of my favorite designers till the day I die. He will always be one of my favorite designers. Now guys, there is some funny sunlight here. That choil allows you to choke up. I really hope you guys can see this okay. I'm trying to do it on this table so it's a nice presentative area spot to show you. This is a very glassy edge, so it just runs through material. Super, super nice. It is one of the feather sticking kings in my arsenal. The first one was, and I figured as long as they did a polished convex edge on this saber grind, this one was going to be as well. And you guys literally just keep running them, and you got a feather stick. This is a little wet, this piece of wood. I thought it was a dead sapling. Not sapling. I thought it was a dead dead branch that fell in the past couple storms from the hurricanes that we got. We didn't get anything severe, but we got storms nonetheless, and there were some branches down. I thought this one would have been a little more dead than it was. Guys, they chop, they feather stick, they do it all. It just does it all. Just a flick of the wrist. It just does it all. That's why I love Work Tuff gear. And this edge, man, one time I was out here in the cold, so my hands were numb, and I went to wipe that edge with my shirt, and it sliced right through, right into the webbing of my hand. Oh man, that sucked. So I had to shoot the rest of my video clutching onto a piece of t-shirt that I cut off. Guys, this mountain lion is one of the greatest. Be careful doing this. Takes a practiced hand so you're not hurting yourself. This mountain lion. Now I keep wanting to say mountain man. This mountain lion is absolutely golden. Golden. Okay. We'll start with the big one. Guys, this is the JX Omega. So we're going to do some light to medium batoning with this guy. Just to show you guys that it will do it. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I just want to show you guys the capabilities of these knives. It is a knife review, aka knife demonstration. So I'm not going to be doing anything too crazy. But I just want you guys to see with that light wrist flick, because this thing is light and nimble. With that extra handle length. It's a little lighter than the Mountain Lion, has an extra handle. So for a chopper, now I will say the Mountain Lion is going to be stronger in the tip and stronger on the edge of chipping and rolling because it's thicker. But this thing, I think if you just want a chopper and you don't care how carryable it is, this thing might be a little easier on the wrist. Alex from Aurora Borealis Knives, who's one of Vic Lynn's designers at Work Tuff Gear. Alex from Aurora Borealis Knife Designs knows that he's one of my favorite knife designers ever to walk the planet. So I'm not afraid to be honest in my reviews, as I always am, and say that I think this is a little more nimble and fast for chopping. But you gotta understand it's a little less durable than the Mountain Lion though. Man, this thing just chunks, boy. Just chunks. Alright, let's baton this big one. Bigger one. It's not that big. Now that's a knife. Okay. That's just the bark breaking off this new spot where I'm hitting it. Try a different piece because that's getting annoying. There we go. That's a nice dense wet piece. Damn, son. Look at that, boy. Goes right through. Again, this is just a little thinner than the Mountain Lion. So it passes through these thin ones pretty nice. Pretty impressive. Chris from Prepared Minds 101. If you're watching, man, touche, brother. Touche. Guys, you see this, man. Breaking down kindling. Breaking down kindling. Shelter building. A little bit of carving. Fire starting. At the end of this, you guys are going to see how devilishly sharp a work tough gear edge is. Look at that. Jesus Lord. Let me try the mountain lion. Jesus, man, look at that. Okay, I'm sorry. The mountain lion's got it beat. It's a little bit sharper of a 90-degree spine. Look at that nice material, that nice fire starting material. Jeez, man, it's like a, what are those things called in the kitchen for a peeler? It's like a peeler. Man, look at us making a mess. Some days you go down to review and you're like, I'll do this. I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe you don't do some things you wanted to do. Today, we're doing a little bit of everything. And it is a freaking blast. I talk to a lot of younger guys that are curious about testing knives. And if anybody's watching this that's thinking about starting to review knives, guys, if it's something that brings you joy, I'm going to kneel down in front of the camera for this one. If it's something that brings you joy and is healthy and productive and fun for you, God will provide. I didn't know anyone in the knife community, really, up until about 2.5 years ago. Started my channel 18 months ago. I have been buying and collecting for a decade or so, longer than 10 years. Always been into knives since I was 10 years old. But I truly believe if it's not hurting anyone, if it's productive, if it's healthy, happy, you enjoy it, makes you happy, God will provide. So guys, if you're thinking about starting a channel, or you have a cool collection and you just want to showcase your collection, do it. I firmly believe that, because it is fun. So, back to the review. Man, I'm on some rants today. This has nice finger grooves so you can choke up on it to do some carving. Ooh. Oh, that was just the bark there. Ooh, man. Now, guys, I always say I am very unpracticed on my feather sticking. Oh man, that thing is so nasty, dude. Holy crap. We just got a pile of stuff there. Very, very, I used to have practiced hands in all this stuff, fire making, but now I can feather stick and start a fire, trust me. I can get it done, the task done, but that elegance that you see Gabe from The Last Huntsman, or Jacob Peterson, or my buddy Alan from Primitive Bear Knives. You guys want a hell of a feather sticker? Try out Primitive Bear Knives Hunter's EDC. That is a slicer. But if you watch these guys, Alan who owns Primitive Bear Knives, Jacob Peterson who owns Exodus Knife and Tool, and Beach Tactical Rifle Slings, and Gabe from The Last Huntsman channel, who's designed a few knives on the market now through Very Good Knife Company. They are pros, man. Their feather sticking makes me look like a... Oh, man. I almost said something really mean. Their feather sticking makes me look like a monkey trying to hump a doorknob. It just... They really have practiced hands, man. They are about that life of being very, very practiced and very, very consistent with their skills of fire making. I used to be. Then the summer, it was a really, really mangled summer up in Gettysburg. I was out of my hometown, out of my element. But it was good. I learned a lot. Lost out on some money, but I learned a lot. But now, it's time. Said in my last video, I'm going to be in the woods every weekend shooting videos. Got some trips, got some hikes, got some winter camping, got some great stuff coming up. The JX Omega. Now, we are going to just do a little more feather sticking with this Scandi. Now that my wrist is warmed up. Damn it. Guys, Scandis are a whole different ball game. Scandis are a whole different ball game. Now, let me try this. I watched Rob Evans do this, and he makes it look so easy. It's doing it, but they're a lot less controlled for me because I don't do it this way. Guys, like I said, I'm not a pro here. I really enjoy testing knives, using knives, but I'm not a pro. So guys, I don't talk about my personal life that much, but as I said, I've had some struggles throughout my life. And one funny thing that I will say is guys like me that have had some bad stuff happen in their life, it's hard to get the jump on guys like me. So I heard that leaf, that one little leaf crunch, because it's dead silent out here. It's very beautiful. The river's about 100 and maybe 85 yards down that hill over my left shoulder. But yeah, make a long story short, I am a very difficult person to sneak up on. I am a very my situational awareness is a lot higher and more. I'm very much more conscious of it than a lot of my buddies are. Man, that Scandi just moves nice. Awesome. The Nomad Bushcrafter. Down to one of the last things on this video that I want to show you guys is just how amazing, man, look at how dirty those knives are. I love getting some frickin' wear and tear on these big fixed blades, man. I hate when they're out of the box and super shiny. So, some knives I do like a little shiny, but now is the best part. I'm going to show you guys just how nasty these bird sharp edges are for fire steel scraping. This is the Nomad Bushcrafter up first. Crazy. Wild. That's the Nomad Bushcrafter. Next up, we got the Mountain Lion. Oh my God. Great thumb scallop on either side. That's for a pinch grip or to turn it over and lay your thumb right through that groove there for striking a fire steel. Look at how good that is, man. You get those hot, long slivers of it that'll actually sit in there and burn long enough. See that? Sit in there and burn long enough to start a fire. Now the JX Omega. Oh yeah. Feel like Gandalf. You shall not pass. Yeah, I'm a Tolkien nerd. What do you think I'm doing playing in the woods with knives? if you didn't grow up and go to farmers markets with make your mom take you to farmers markets as a kid, take your change that you've accumulated, that you took from your dad, and buy little pieces of leather to make arrows, quivers for your arrows, then go out and take a random stick and bend it and put a shoestring on it or whatever at the time you think is going to work. You know, I'm talking about when I was 10. To make a bow and arrow to be like Legolas, you did not have a good childhood. I'm just kidding. Man, I love Work Tuff gear. So guys, one more shit. Okay, 3, 2. So guys, John from Heavysettactical said that 1,000 times. I wanted to tell you guys that I appreciate how much you guys watch my videos. It's not that much. I know I have some guys that watch all my stuff, but you know, if I get 1,000 views on a video, it's considered a good video to me. You know, a lot of other guys get 30, 40,000 views a video, but I am so grateful for the viewers that I do have, because it gives me just enough viewership to enjoy knowing that some people get something from my videos. So guys, I appreciate it so much. I know I get a little sappy sometimes, but it is Sunday, church day, good day. So guys, the Aurora Borealis mountain lion, the JX Omega, designed by Chris from Prepared Minds 101. The funniest part is these knives are all jacked up, right? I'm going to show you how much of that sulfur burned crap from the ferro rod, how much of that rubs off. When we get home, we're going to talk about specs, pricing. October 25th, just a couple days. Everybody wants to know when the Gen 2 of the Mountain Lion drops. It drops on the 25th. I think today's the 21st. It drops in a couple days on October 25th on Work Tuff Gear's website. The JX Omega and EDC Bushcrafter, Nomad Bushcrafter, are available right now on Work Tuff Gear's website, and maybe DLT Trading has a couple left. So guys, thank you so much for watching my content. Don't be afraid to like, subscribe, share. That stuff does help me. It definitely does. You know, I couldn't thank you guys enough. And like always, guys, stay safe, stay heavy.